Just wishing.
How's everybody doing today? All right. Um, I want to do a video today, man, on YouTube channels that do a lot of talking on YouTube, which has proven to be even fatal in some cases, man. Life has shown us that on YouTube anything could happen, man. You know, people have gotten sick on us and have passed on. Other people have got done in by other YouTubers, and some YouTubers have did themselves in by running their mouths. Okay, uh, this is a perfect example right here. This young cat here is from Savage Studios. For those of you who don't know, because it was very much talked about, which it seems like whenever somebody's on a live, everybody gets a hold of it and makes content. You know, it brings in views. In any case, this guy had made some comments to an organization, a prison organization, and basically disrespect them at the highest level. He was drunk. He's talking out the side of his neck. Very next day, he came on and he took back what he said. You know, he apologized profusely, and he most definitely knew that he made a big mistake by saying and doing what he did. This guy is part of a prison gang also, an SNY prison gang called the Two Fibers. Okay, these guys are on site. Okay, in prison and even in the streets for those that rock that way. These guys are on site, and he spoke on his ops in prison, and he did more than that. You know, he talked a lot of madness and stuff while on YouTube. Anyways, in the background there, you see a tattoo shop. That was a tattoo shop where he was unalive. You could see the yellow ribbon up right there. The police are there. He's probably in there, you know, unalive. Well, a rumor started that it was behind a puppy, because this guy, I guess, raised little Frenchies or bullies or something. And this guy wanted to buy a puppy, and, you know, some disagreement occurred. And this is supposedly the same guy that unalived him. Whether that was the reason or not, I don't know. And it doesn't matter. The fact remains, though, that this guy was shot. You know, so the kid walked in with a blower and let him have it, you know. And you know, people sometimes know that they're making a mistake, and some people are just too dumb to understand the possible ramifications. I say possible because not everybody gets caught up with. Some people take higher priority than others, but you know, you disrespect somebody, and sometime along your life, you just might run into them and get dealt with. You know, YouTube's a dangerous playground. Some of you have seen lately the argument with Whack 100 and Lush from No Jumper, and now he's going at it with Compa Raider. And this guy talks some madness, man. You know, he disrespects, Lush disrespects at a very, very high level. You know, he claims to be part of the South Side, but if he really was, and he was educated, and he knows anything, he knows that you don't do that. You know, if he really has beef, him and Compa Raider can get together. It's not that difficult. You know, if I wanted to get with Compa Raider for something, I could do it if I really tried and I went and reached out to him. You know, same thing with Lush. Same thing with anybody. You know, it's just basically the way it should be done. But they choose to do these you know, they run off at the mouth at each other for views. You know, they want to be popular on YouTube. They know that all this madness sells. You know, it attracts attention, especially to the younger viewers. They like all that. It's interesting to them, you know, until it's not. and they're unalived, and they find themselves in the same place as Savage Studio. Daniel Signs, okay, he's another one. That's that dude that talked all this madness to an organization in the Mexican and Texas prisons, okay? And basically, he was talking about he was untouchable. Nobody was at his level, and he voiced this several times. You know, nobody could touch him. He gave up his location several times. He says, "Look at me, I'm out here. I'm right here in my neighborhood. What's up? Come see me." You know, this, that, and the other. Nobody can mess with me. You know, you guys are this and that and the other. Somebody broke into Daniel Stein's house and unalived the guy. I went at it with him real quick on social media when I first began. Like, I let him know, man, if you're that serious, come on down to the neighborhood. I'm easy to find, and you know, let's fix whatever you got on your chest, you know. And you know, he stopped making videos, and I never heard from him again. Of course, I don't follow him. The guy had very, very, very low views. You know, all of that talk and everything, for what the return he was getting, it wasn't worth it. He lost his life behind it, no doubt. Somebody broke in his house in the middle of the night or early morning, caught him slipping, and pulled the blower out and put holes in him, give him some air conditioning all over through his body and shit, you know? And yeah, all that for I think he had like 3,000 subscribers, but his views were like in the hundreds, man. Like he wasn't making money, you know. Some guys, they're making money and they do this constantly, you know. Here, let me pull this picture up. Everybody knows this guy, Renegade Media, okay? Now, supposedly he quit YouTube, but I still see him doing shorts, doing the same mamada, running his mouth, talking smack. He made a video saying that the police talked to him and told him to be careful because that there was some type of, I guess, reward for his ass. You know what I mean? They were like, man, you know, whoever could touch this guy, you know, we got some cash here for you. This guy put it out on social media. He did a lot of videos about it because I guess that was a way for him to protect himself. In other words, saying, look, man, I already told everybody the threats that you sent my way. So if anything happens to me, they know where to go look, you know. That's basically what he was doing, in my opinion. I've been back and forth. Well, not back and forth because Renegade Media never responds, you know. But I'm sure he's aware of the videos that I made, man. I told him, man, he was doing too much. Slow his roll. Stop talking all that nonsense. And even he says his own mother's in fear for his life, you know. And I don't blame her, you know. He knows he overstepped himself, you know. But I think he's doing too little, too late now. You know what I'm saying? He put it out there. He did what he did. Basically, he says he don't regret it. He wanted to expose all these people, this, that, and the other. That was, I guess, he felt like that was his calling or something. Nevertheless, you know, this guy did make some money doing that. But was it worth it? Is it worth it living like that? I don't think so, man. I'd rather have peace of mind and not have to be looking over my shoulder constantly. You know, it's bad enough I have to for other reasons, but to go out there and just make big enemies, no, man. You know, what for? You know, this guy talked about cartels, talked about organizations, talked about whole cities, a whole race of people, you know. And now, basically, he knows, you know, he's on borrowed time, man. It's just a matter of time. One day, this poor guy is going to run into somebody, and they're going to reach out and touch him in a mighty way, you know. And he knows it, you know. His own mother knows it. His family knows it. And he has a little boy. Instead of thinking, man, I got to be around for this kid, you know, they're already picking on the kid. And he ain't even gone yet. Imagine when he's left alone to defend himself and fend for himself. I think Renegade Media made the biggest mistake of all of them, and I just think that he's been more fortunate to not be found. You know, he moves around. Obviously, he's in touch with the police. You know, he communicates with them, and you know, they go as far as telling him, "Hey, man, you know, we intercepted some calls. We intercepted, you know, a wheel or something, and you know, you're on the list, fool. Like, you know, maybe you should change your residence. Maybe you should keep moving around. Maybe you should stop doing these videos." The police are telling him. He says it himself, you know. But whatever, you know, it's what they do on YouTube, man, and it's too bad, you know. So many YouTube, well, I'm gonna call them content creators. So many content creators just talk a bunch of nonsense for views that really nobody cares. Because after you're dead, they're gonna make videos about you. You're gonna be spoken about for a while, and then you're gonna be forgotten. You know, if you're lucky, you'll be beloved like Rascal, where, you know, people still bring him up and talk positive about him and stuff. But I doubt that very much. You know, Savage Studios history, Daniel Sainz history, nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. It's hard to even find a picture of those guys anymore, you know? And this dummy, he's living in fear, man. Now all of the talk he did, like these people are this, that, and the other, but yet he's scared, moving around, trying to dodge a bullet now, you know? It's a terrible way to live, man. I don't recommend it for nobody, man. I think everybody should just be a little bit more careful how far they go on social media. YouTube can be hazardous to your health. People, be careful. That being said, God bless you. God bless your families. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much for if you stood this far to the end. I really appreciate it, and God bless you.